Silver's been hard to find lately, and when you do find it, it's really expensive and overpriced. But I was able to snag some up from my local coin store. Spent $248.04. How do you think I did? Let's check it out. Hey everybody, I'm Coin and Silver Journey. If you're new here, I would appreciate you subscribing, liking, and comment down in the video and tell me what you think. Tell me how I did. Before I get too far into the video, I did want to say I hope everyone's doing well. You know what's going on right now with the virus going around and everything like that. I hope you guys are prepared. I hope you're being smart with your money. And if you don't have extra money, you probably shouldn't be buying silver, but that's okay. You can watch me buy it. You can check out and see what I got. You know, there'll be times to buy silver again, and maybe right now you should hold off if the finances are rough. But anyways, so I've been trying to find some good deals on silver, and online there's hardly any to be had. It's tough. So I've been calling my local coin store, multiple coin stores, and they haven't had any silver in stock, and when they did, they had to go with current prices, and they were just not stuff I wanted to pay. So I went back to my coin store that I do frequent, Medler's, and I remembered they had a coal junk silver bin. It's kind of mixed up with old scrap jewelry, and a lot of people don't know it's there. So I asked if they had any, and he said, yeah, I think it's still there, and I decided to pick through and see what I could find, and I pulled out every piece of silver they had in there, every 90% coin, besides one or two that were just borderline smushed and twisted. I left those there, but I got all these coal junk silver coins, and I think I did all right. I haven't really gone through these yet. I picked these up on Tuesday. I peeked at them a little bit when I bought them. I really don't even know the total face value I got. But I paid 42 cents a gram. So to me, that was a really good deal. I got these for spot price. Whatever spot price was at the time. I think it was $14.50 and some change on the Tuesday I went. So I got a great deal. I've noticed there's some older dates in here, and I got a lot of Barbers, so let me organize these. I'll get them all laid out by denomination, type, and all that stuff, and we'll come right back. Alright guys, got them all sorted. So the final count to what I picked up this Tuesday, so I got $5 face, Standing Liberty quarters, $1.50 walk-in halves, 75 cents in Washington quarters, $5 in Barbers. Got them all separated by years here, but this is $5 face. Sorry, $4 face Barbers. $2.10 in Mercs. I have $10 coins, you want to call it. It was 6 piece dollars and 4 Morgans. Some of these are a little toasty. And then I also picked up some Canadian. $1 Canadian and 25 cents Canadian. Alright, so altogether I picked up $14.35 face plus $10 in Morgans and piece. Alright, so $248 is what I paid. I went into the coin shop not looking for junk silver necessarily. I was just looking for a deal. And it turns out, as usual, junk silver is the deal to be had for me. Not the case everywhere right now. I mean, people are asking $18 face for junk silver, which when you do the math can come out to $20-something, $23 an ounce or something on junk silver, which is outrageous because it's supposed to be cheap. It's typically 50 cents over spot. So to get this for spot, regardless of the wear, to negate the wear and to get this for spot, I thought it was a great deal. And as usual, I go through my junk silver and I always look for any goodies, any key dates, anything cool you can find, because the benefit of looking through junk silver is there's not always junk in there. Sometimes there's some treasure. Sometimes you find a good date or a coin or an heir. You can find so many cool things, and that's part of why I like buying junk silver. So that's what I did. Right when I separated these, I went through them, the dates, and see if there's anything good. Separated them by year and stuff like that. So let's go through what I found. So let's start with the Canadian. Nothing special. This is actually my first foreign silver that I own. Happens to be Canadian. I thought this one was really neat. I believe these are only 80%. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I believe they're only 80%. So this is from 1958. A little tiki on there. I thought it was really neat. And for spot price on this, couldn't complain. And then this one, at first I didn't think it was Canadian. I knew it was silver. I could just tell. But it is Canadian. If we get it to focus. Come on. So it's a little worn, but I see 1916 or 1918. I'm going to go with 1916, but it's an old Canadian quarter, which I thought was cool. Anybody from Canada knows a little more information about this older quarter, let me know. Is it collectible? Is it rare? I'm not sure, but I believe this is also 80%, and I picked it up because why not? It was in the junk silver, or the coal bin, and I picked it up. So then I went to the Mercs, as expected. When I went through there, they're all older dates because generally the older dates have more wear. It's just kind of how it goes. Typically, the older something is, the more it's usually worn. So out of all of them, I only had one I couldn't read the date on. This one's definitely coal. Could not figure out what that one was. So I had two 1916s, 5 1917s, 2 1918s, 1 1919, 8 from the 20s, nothing special, and 2 from the 30s. So none from the 40s, which is cool. Got some older silver. They're pretty worn, but once again, I paid spot for these. I paid by weight, not by face value with these, so no complaints there. I did check the 16s. None of them are the rare 16, which I believe is a 16D. Correct me if I'm wrong. But got a couple of these. Always love the Mercs. They're known to have lots of wear. I typically stay away from them. Stick more with the Roosevelts, but I do have a few tubes of the Mercuries. They're always nice to have. I think they're a cool and beautiful coin. So after that, let's go to the quarters, I guess. Got 3 quarters. Just your average beat up quarters, 43, 39, and a 36. Nothing special. The 36 is a better year. I believe it's a 36D. If I get this thing to focus, no, it's actually a 36 plain. It's a better year, but in this condition, all green and messed up, it's negligible. So 75 cents in those. Just your typical junk right there. All right, and then let's go to the walking halves. So I got 3 of these. One of them, you can't tell what it is at all. There's no, it's worn. I see a 5 at the end. So it's either a 35 or 45. There was no walking halves for 25, but I'll take it. All right, and then I got a 1918 and a 1919. The 1919 was a plain, I believe. No, sorry, the 1919 was an S, which was better, it's a better date. I can pull the Redbook out for you and show that one here in a second. And then the 19, man, I'm having trouble focusing today, come on. 1918 plain. I believe that one was the worst date. I'll grab the Redbook right here and I'll show you right now. Give me a second. Alright guys, so if you don't own a Redbook, I do recommend getting one. I'll probably make a video about the Redbook and related things you should pick up if you collect junk silver or buy junk silver. This is definitely one of them. I've got the 2020 here. I also have a 2015. So here we go. I'm under Liberty Walking Halves. Gives you a couple little details. Always cool. Okay, here we go. So 1918 plain, 6 million minted, in good condition. It goes for $18. So I definitely didn't pay $18. So I think I paid about 6 if you do the math on it, 6.5. So good on that one. And then the 1919S is actually a lower mintage year, 1.5 million, and it goes for $20. So to pick those up, there's a 1919. It's beat up. It may be good, maybe not. It's always cool. But anyways, so what else we got here? So I guess let's go to the Standing Liberties. Turn my brightness up here, maybe that'll help focus. All right, so the Standing Liberties, as expected with these coins, they're worn. No dates on these, that's why they were in that bin. No dates. The only one that did have a date was in 1926. No date on it. Nothing special. Happy it has a date. You know, $6, $7 coin. Okay, and then, so something you guys should always look for when you're looking at your Liberty, your Standing Liberty quarters, is that in 1916, there's varieties. In 1916 to 1917, they had 3 stars underneath the eagle. So those coins go for a lot more money. So what you can do is you can check your typical Standing Liberty. Let's go with this one here. So I'll show you an example. Check it out. Focus up. Come on. See, it's got 3 stars underneath the eagle. Let's compare it to this one right here. That was in my junk silver. No stars. So that means this is a type 1 with no stars, which they only made 1916 and 1917, which means this is a first or second year Standing Liberty quarter, which is cool. Even in this condition, as poor as it is, they go for more money. I can show that for you here in my Redbook. I'll keep you guys here. Flip on over. Go over here. So here we go. Show it for you guys. So got the Redbook out here. Again, it's always good to have one of these. So variety 1, 1916 to 1917. See here. Oh, bouncing around. No stars underneath the eagle. So I don't know what date it is. It's either, well, it has to be in 1917 because 1916 would be 52,000. I know it's not one of those. So variety 1, I don't believe there's a mint on it. I wouldn't be able to tell. But either way, $18, $25, $30 coin in G4. Mine's less than that, so you could call it a $10 coin. So here's another better example. 3 stars from 1917 to 1930. So something to look at when you get these Standing Liberties. Oh, come on. So something to look at when you get these Standing Liberties with no dates is that you could have a type 1, and even if they're slicked out, they're worth more than melt, even if it's a $5, $10 coin, because you can prove that it is what it is. So I thought that was neat to find one. I typically don't buy these unless they have dates, but once again, buying them for melt, it was a no-brainer. All right, so we got through all of that, and I think the star of the show, oh, let's not go there yet. So we got the Morgans and the Peace dollars here. So yeah, some of these are pretty nasty. I got a 1921. It's got some weird dings on it, like someone tried to clamp it. But it's got good detail, and it's hardly anywhere. It's just ugly. Picked up one of those. I had a couple ugly Morgans. Probably the most worn Morgan I've ever seen. Worn pretty slick. Another worn one. And then this one's worn, but managed to have a date. It'll focus for me. 1894, I'm going to say. Could be an 84. O. If it's a 94 O, it's a slightly better date. So yeah, I picked up all those. Like I said, it was just weight. Add some Morgans to the stack. And then I got some Peace dollars. This is one of the better condition ones. 1922. 1922. 1922. This is a very high mintage year. It would make sense that that's the majority of what I got. And then I got 1923. This thing's seen better days. Couldn't imagine someone doing this to a coin, but it happens, folks. It happens. People destroy coins. Another 1922. And then this guy right here, or lady, I should say. I don't think I've ever seen a Peace dollar this worn. I thought it was interesting. But to get it for the weight, it didn't bother me too much. So I picked up 10 of those. And then now to me, what was the best find after going through it was the Barbers. A lot of times shops don't go through the Barbers because they're so worn and they just kind of, they overlook them. Either they're worn out, toss them in the bin, we don't care, right? So that happens quite a bit. And I think that might have happened with these. So let me go through the dates of what I found. I got a 1892, 1895, 1898, a 1904, a 1906, two 1907s, three 1908s. This one, I'll show you, this one was probably the best one of the bunch. Cool coins. I think it's one of the uglier Lady Liberties, in my opinion, but I still like them because they're old and usually they have dates. It's cool to have dates. So yeah, after the 1908s, focus up. Man, I had two 1909s. This one had some weird toning on it. I get it to focus for me. Got a weird, it must have been held in a weird binder or something like that. It's got a weird set of toning on it. Okay. And then I had a 1911 plain, and then a 1914. A little crusty. This one's definitely considered coal in my opinion. Okay. And then the star of the show. So, I don't know if you've seen my video I made a while back. It's insane local coin store score. It was supposed to be a part 1, and this might have been a part 2 if I decided to make it, but I didn't. I did score some Barbers, Barber dimes, Barber halves, all for the normal price that you would pay for a face. I think back then I paid $11 something face per $1. But definitely check out that video if this is something you're into. So then when you go to these Barbers, I went through them a little more, right? So let's check this one out. Okay, so this one right here, it's in 1911, if it would focus, 1911, and it happens to be an S. So remember that, 1911 S. Okay, check the second one out here, 1912 S. So a 1911 and a 1912 S. Let's keep these right here. Grab the Redbook, ever so useful Redbook. Okay, set these down on top, bring it in. So these are 1911 and 1912 S. So we go 1911 S. It's a very low mintage year. 988,000 minted. And to look at some perspective, most of these are in the millions. Very minimal, 1.5 million. So found a 1911S in G4 condition. It's considered a $9 coin. Pretty cool, right? So it gets better. Had a 1912S. 708,000 minted. Pretty wild. This one is considered one of the key dates. 712, it goes for quite a bit more than this date. Not sure why, but it's a low mintage year for that mint. $20 in G4 condition. So I thought that was cool. It's always neat to find that stuff like that. And anybody can find it. It's out there. All you gotta do is look. Local coin shops, they have a lot to look at, a lot to see, and sometimes stuff falls in the cracks, and you can find good stuff like this. So anyways, it's a bit of a longer video. If you made it this far, I do appreciate you watching. Sorry for the camera, didn't want to focus today. But if you made it this far, I hope you think about subscribing. Maybe like the video, leave a comment. Tell me what you're buying right now, if you've had any luck. But anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.